what do you think of her? Like, we'll get to the fight and you know what she's accomplished or not accomplished in your eyes, but her as a person, what do you think?
I think she's great. I think she's amazing. You know, she has a lot of accomplishments under her belt, and I respect that immensely.
But you weren't initially very excited, interested in fighting her. So for you to say that you really admire her accomplishments, but not so much in terms of like that made her like a contender?
Well, I wouldn't say that I wasn't, you know, wanting to fight her, or eager to fight her. The thing is that when I fell out with broken ribs and had to pull out of my trilogy fight with Amanda, I was heartbroken. And I believe, just as well as the promotion believes, that Amanda retired too early and that she's, you know, itching and scratching to come back. So my initial thought is call her out and make her come back, because it seems like, you know, when the other girls won in the division, they wouldn't breathe her name. You know, Amanda's name is like Voldemort. It's like they just won't say it. But I've never been shy to say Amanda's name or that I want that fight. So for me, I'm looking at the big fights. I'm looking for getting that trilogy fight back. I'm looking to settle the score since we're both 1-1. And so Kayla wasn't necessarily on my radar. It was absolutely nothing personal, just more so what I wanted and what I felt was best for me. Upon hearing that, you know, she had no interest in fighting me and she wanted nothing to do with the trilogy, I, of course, then took the next fight, which was Kayla.
What's that like to really want to fight someone that's retired? And maybe she'll come out of retirement, but right now she's retired. What is that like?
Well, it's just frustrating because, you know, they're telling me, you know, she's retired, she has nothing to prove against you, but she hates Kayla more. So if Kayla wins, then she'll come out of retirement and she'll fight Kayla, but she's not coming out to fight you. And so it puts me in a position where I feel like the only thing that I can do is just kind of egg her on in order to get her out of there, because I know that she probably eventually will come back. Again, like I said, I think she was just burnt out, needed a break. You know, she's done a lot for the sport. She's the GOAT. So I think that she just wanted some time off and kind of curious to see what's going to happen between me and Kayla, and that's why she's taking a back seat so that she can sit in that front row and kind of see what happens.
You expect her to be at the fight?
I'm not really sure, but I would anticipate she probably will be.
And who's telling you that? That, oh, she'll fight Kayla, but not you?
I have this Nostradamus way about me where I just kind of know things and kind of just predict them, and yeah. You know, I'm usually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to get to that though, you got Kayla's the one in front of you. You said you admire her accomplishments. Which ones? What stands out to you in terms of what she's done?
Well, of course, she's won 2 gold medals in the Olympics. She is, you know, in the Judo Hall of Fame. She's 18-1 as a professional. She's a 2-time champion in the PFL. So those are just, you know, tip of the iceberg for some of the things that she's accomplished.
Mm-hmm. Do you see a full mixed martial artist out of her?
You know, I would say that she is unproven in that category because she has just been able to muscle her way down to getting these girls down to the ground and trying to, you know, lay on top of them control time for you know, 15 minutes. But I do believe that her, let's put it this way, I think that Amanda's more of a complete fighter all around than Kayla is.
You said muscle them down. Do you see her more of technique or just kind of some raw athleticism? Oh,
she absolutely has technique. I mean, you don't get to win 2 gold medals without having, you know, technique. She's got technique, absolutely. And she's very big, you know. She's very powerful in her judo techniques. So that's what I see.
What have you seen when she can't direct the fight to where she wants? How has she responded to that?
When I see that she can't direct the fight how she wants, I feel that she's frustrated. I see the frustration in her face. You know, she wants to be able to get in and attack, and, you know, she doesn't like getting punched in the face, and that's very visible.
Knowing that you would love to fight Amanda, does that have any impact on this? Of just like that's what I really want, but this is good. I'm like, do you know what I'm asking? To not be getting truly what you want. Does that have any impact on your psyche? Or?
No, absolutely not. You know, when they're telling me that Amanda's not coming back and she wants nothing to do with me, I just put that in my back pocket and I just kind of keep looking forward. I'm a Kentucky Derby horse. I am a thoroughbred. I got my blinders on and I'm not looking to the left or looking to the right. I'm looking right down the finish line. And Kayla is at the end of that finish line, and that is my goal.
And do you see a lot of other exciting things for you? Because you've been here for a minute now, and you fought a lot of these girls before. Like, are there still a lot of exciting challenges when you think about it, or do you feel like man, I've kind of went through a lot of this stuff. Like, what is going to be?
No, absolutely not. You know, I'm going to be that girl at 60 years old, that woman, excuse me, that's still going to be trying to, you know, call up Dana and ask him to get me inside the octagon. I'm never going to be done. You know, I am a fighter through and through. This is my passion. This is what sets my heart on fire. And this is, you know, who I am and you know, how I've, you know, made a living and created a life for myself. So mixed martial arts is such a passion for me. And I definitely don't see myself being done, you know, anytime soon. I'm going to fight till the cows come home. You know, you drop the atomic bomb, I'm that cockroach that's going to be there still living, and nothing's going to stop me.
And so last thing on that is, I mean, obviously, unfortunately, you had some injuries that kept you in less active. How do you like your activity now? Would you like to be fighting more frequently? Do you think like this is kind of a appropriate thing where you're taking 5-round championship fights? What is your idea of activity?
Of course, a fighter always wants to stay active, but at the end of the day, there's, you know, things that happen inside the octagon that are out of your control, like fighting for your life, for example, or breaking ribs, or tearing your knee out, or, you know, dislocating your bicep and having to get it reattached. There's things that have happened in my career, in training, in the fights, that have taken me out longer than I would have liked to. But if I could fight every week, you bet your boots I'm going to be fighting every single week. I think that at the end of the day, you leave a gigantic part of yourself inside of that octagon every time they close that cage door. And 25 minutes of fighting is extremely brutal on your body. So, you know, I feel like I take the appropriate amount that I need for my body in order to get back in there and perform at my best.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to the press conference and then, of course, the fight.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. Thank you.